Okay, we are now at Ansley O'Neal and his wife Neva's grave site, and Philip is going to tell you a little bit about Ansley and Neva.
Ansley was my father's best friend on Ocracoke. He was born in November of 1911. My dad was born in October of 1911. And so they stayed really best friends most of their childhood. But both of them left the island when they were just 16 years old. My dad went up to Philadelphia to work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And as you can see, there's a fiddle on the gravestone here. My dad and Ansley both played the fiddle a little bit, and my dad told me that the day before they were both scheduled to leave the island to go up north, they sat under a live oak tree on Howard Street and sat there sharing remembrances of their childhood, and they brought their fiddles with them, and they both sat there and played a few tunes on their fiddles before they departed for the last time. And as a side note, my dad and my mother are buried just a few feet away from that live oak where my dad and Ansley sat in 1927. Ansley came back to Ocracoke and spent most of his adult life here on the island. In fact, a number of his family still live here on Ocracoke. And Ansley owned a boat called the Dolphin, and in I think it was 1953 when the folks who ran the Alita lost the contract for the mail. Ansley got the contract, and he began hauling mail and freight and passengers from Atlantic, North Carolina, over to Ocracoke. And my cousin Robert told me this story one time, which I just really got a kick out of. His mother didn't raise her family on Ocracoke. She was the son of Captain Marvin Howard, but they lived in Winston-Salem area, and they were coming to Ocracoke one time with Captain Ansley on the Dolphin. And Ansley invited Robert, who was about 8 years old, to come up into the pilot house and asked him if he wanted to steer the boat for a while. So Robert took a hold of the helm, and Ansley sat down on a fish box beside him, pulled his pocket knife out and a little piece of wood, and started carving a little bird. And Ansley got so absorbed in carving the bird, the next time he looked up, he realized that Robert was steering the Dolphin out of the channel. And Ansley just jumped up right away, took his penknife, jammed it into his leg, walked over, stepped over and took the helm and steered the boat back into the channel. Robert said he just stood there wide-eyed looking at this knife sticking out of Ansley's leg and was just terrified about what had happened. It was only later that Robert learned that Ansley had lost his leg when he was much younger and wore a wooden leg, and the knife was sticking out of his wooden leg. Robert loved telling me that story. As I said, Ansley and Neva's family still live here on Ocracoke, and they're very, very fine folks.
All right, Philip, thank you.